Hello everyone and welcome to May's Cat-Walk TBR. This is how I have to work with things, is from this angle. No adjusting right now. This is just the setup that I have to work with. So we're going to be filming it just a little bit differently. I will have like a sticky note that I'll move around and I'll show you and all of that, but we will get into it. So now May, there's a couple of readathons that I would like to participate in. Had to find my notebook for all my May readathons. So there's one, two, I think two? No, three, four. Four readathons. Now, some of these I will not be picking books for. So one of them is hosted by Krista's Corner. This is phase 4 of the Phase Out Your TBR readathon that is based off of their game. And the goal is to get a run of 7. So I have all of the prompts listed, all of the red, the blues, the yellows, etc. And green. So I have all of those listed. As I read, I will try to fit them in for the prompts. And then fingers crossed that I will complete a run of 7. I have completed all the previous phases, so phases 1 through 3. I've completed those, no problem. I'm hoping for the run of 7. Okay, the other one is Escape the Readathon. I have decided to join Team Thrill Seekers. There are 10 building prompts, and I can do those throughout the whole month. However, the other prompts that we will be getting will not be released until the start of the readathon, and then it's kind of like an escape room. So we have to read so many books or so many pages or something like that, and then the next prompt will be released if we complete and reach the goal and things like that. So there are prompts I will not know until the readathon progresses. So for the buildings, again, I will try to just whatever I read make fit, and then when my team gets the prompt to try to unlock the door, then that prompt will take precedence over the building prompts. So I can't pick books for that one. The other one that I could pick books for right now, but I'm not worried about it, is the Whodunnit readathon. The hosts are Danielle from Bocara, Naomi from Naomi's Bookshelf, and Paige from Pages with Paige. So I will put the announcement videos for all of these readathons in the description box. The Whodunnit one, it's based off of Clue, and the rule is to read 3 prompts for each group. So 3 character or suspect prompts, 3 weapons prompts, and 3 rooms prompts. Now, like the character prompts is, let's say Mrs. White is one of them. I could pick a book that has a mostly white cover. Maybe that's in the food industry because Mrs. White is a cook or a chef, or no, is she a cook or a chef, or is she like a maid? I don't remember, but something, I'll have to look it up, but something that has to do with her character, maybe where their character's from, like Colonel Mustard was in the army or the military. I can pick a book for, if I decided to do Colonel Mustard, 1, that's yellow because Colonel Mustard, 2, that has military because he served in the military or wherever he was stationed, a book from an author from that place or something. So I can fit these however I want, like Lead Pipe, maybe that's a book with a weapon on the cover that has pipes on the cover, or pipe, maybe, I don't know, something that has to deal with plumbing. Who knows? So I'll figure that out as I go. The other readathon that, and this one for me will take priority over the other ones, is Horror Mayhem. I have already picked all of the books. I will link the announcement video that I have done, all of the co-hosts, and I will also link my TBR. I have a bunch of physical books I will try to get onto my May Cat-Walk TBR. I would like to sprinkle in a couple of other, like maybe romance or fantasy or something. I can't read straight up horror. I will get burnt out on the genre. So there are 4 weekly themes, and there are 36 prompts. I picked a book for 1 for each theme and 1 for each prompt, so that's 40 books. I know I will not get to all of those books. A lot of these are going to be ebooks that I have selected, and then there's quite a few physical books. Now, hang on, my mind is like, my train of thoughts putzing, hang on. I want to get to as much of these horror books. I don't expect to get to all of these. Again, I do want to sprinkle in some romance, fantasy, literary fiction, whatever, so I don't read straight up horror. I am one of the co-hosts for Horror Mayhem, so I want to read as much horror as I can, but I need to sprinkle in other genres so I don't get burnt out on it. So that's the thing. Now, let's go ahead and, I know I switched things up from the last time, so a couple of things. So if I roll a double, I still add, I'm starting with 5 prompts from my board. I will still draw these cards to try and get the color on the cover. If I get a double, I'm adding a roll, and then I have to incorporate these TBR cards and a color, and that's pretty much it. So I just made it way too complicated this last time, the last couple of times. So I have wanted to simplify. If I get a double, it will be adding a roll. So I'm starting off with 5, only doubles, or if I can't find a color and the book splits. So that's how the stack will go from 5 to whatever. So let me grab, what color will show up on the board the best? Let's see. Okay, the yellow, that's this one. Yeah, I can't even see the blue or the green, so we're gonna do the yellows tab. Okay, so as you can see, the number 6 is already up there. I have put that I have 30 squares on my board, and we're starting on space number 28. Okay, so 28 is right here on Memorial Day. So I'm gonna roll the dice. So I'm not using, I wonder if I can. Nope. I was gonna try to put one magnet in front, one in the back, but they repel each other. So actually, if I flip that one over, would that work? That works. Oh, that's better. Let's do that. Okay. There we go. So we're starting there. As far as the dice, all right, we're already starting off with, because as you can see, I'm moving 2 spots, but it's a double, so we're already with a double. So we're going to move 2 spots, take the one off of the back, and that's 1, 2, and this is mental health. So space number 30, which we don't worry about that anymore, but mental health, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I need a book with some sort of either mental health, mental disability, physical, something like that, rep in it. So we also need a color. This one, Desert Sand, which is number 17-1524. Mental health and disability rep. So I am going to go with Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is an adult romance. It does get spicy. This will actually be a reread, but I enjoyed it, and I do want to reread a physical copy of it. So yeah. This one says, Chloe Brown is chronically ill. There is your disability health rep. She's a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. After almost, but not quite, dying, she's come up with 7 directives to help her get a life. And she's already completed the first, finally moving out of her glamorous family's mansion. The next items: enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, It's number 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Travel the world with nothing but hand luggage and do something bad. But it's not easy being bad, even when you've written step-by-step guidelines on how to do it correctly. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows just the man for the job. Redford Red Morgan is a handyman with tattoos, a motorcycle, and more sex appeal than 10,000 Hollywood heartthrobs. He's also an artist who paints at night and hides his work in the light of day, which Chloe knows because she spies on him occasionally, just the teensiest bit. But when she enlists Red in her mission to rebel, she learns things about him that no spy session could teach her, like why he clearly resents Chloe's wealthy background and why he never shows his art to anyone, and what really lies beneath his rough exterior. The color that I drew was Desert Sand, which is number 171524. So, Chloe's skin is a bit darker, but Red's hair is pretty close. Now you can't see it, but there is a button on the jacket, and it looks like it's an exact match of this from just holding it up to the naked eye. But the hair is pretty dang close as well. So I don't care if it's just one little dot, if I can see that this color is on there, and I'm going with the button on the jacket. So that's what I'm going with on this, so I don't have to split this prompt. Okay, punishment book. We're going with one of these prompts from my TBR cards. Read the next book in a series you're currently reading. I am in the middle of over 100 series, so this will not be a problem. And then I do need a color to go with it. This blue Celestial, number 184530. I just try to get as close. If I can't get very similar, then it splits type of a situation. But I'll let you know when I find the book if I'm able to combine these or if they have to split. Alright, well, a double. So my TBR card that I drew was read the next book in a series you are currently reading. I have over 100 series I'm trying to work through. I decided to go with War by Laura Thalassa. This is the second romance book. Again, I'm trying to read a lot of horror, but to get some romance in there will be good. And romance tends to read pretty quick for me. So War. This is book number 2 in the 4 Horsemen series. The day Jerusalem falls to the horsemen, MAYhem TBR knows her life is over. Houses are burning, the streets run red with blood, and a traitorous army is massacring her people. There is no surviving this, especially not once MAYhem catches the eye of War himself. But when the massive and terrifying horseman corners MAYhem, he calls her his heaven-sent wife, and instead of killing her, he takes her back to his camp. Now MAYhem faces a terrifying future, helplessly watching her world burn town by town, and the one responsible for it is her seemingly indestructible husband, who refuses to let her go. But there's another side to him, one that's gentle and loving and set on winning her over, and she might not be strong enough to resist. However, if there's one thing MAYhem has learned, it's that love and war cannot coexist. She must make the ultimate choice, surrender to War and watch humankind fall, or sacrifice everything to stop him. The color that I drew to go with the punishment draw is Celestial, which is number 184530. Shades in the diamond there, shades on War's shield, in the sheath of his sword. So yay, I get to keep these two together. And I am looking forward to this one. Okay. Going for prompt number 2. Alright, as you can see, I have a 5 and a 6. Alright, so taking the magnet off and removing 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 April Fools. April Fools is to read a book that has something on the cover that makes me happy. Or it could be a comedy type of a situation, but April Fools, something happy on the cover. Could be happy people or just something that makes me happy. So, alright, and it needs to have this yellowish green Citron is the color that I will be trying to get on the cover. So official prompt number 2 is April Fools. This is just to read something that has something happy on the cover, for whatever reason. Okay, I decided to go with a holiday book. I'm going by Kidnapped by the Krampus. This is a Christmas holiday romance. There are Christmas trees. Christmas trees make me happy, so I'm going with that. Plus there's candy canes on the thing there, stenciled edges. So yeah, this is what I'm going to go with. 'Tis the season for spice and a little Krampus magic. Investigative journalist Tylor ventures into the world of the mysterious Krampus to uncover the truth about the eccentric CEO. But when she wakes up in his winter castle, kidnapped by the horned billionaire, she finds herself drawn into a scorching romance. As Tylor uncovers the layers of his hooved enigma, she learns the monstrous holiday figure might be more real than she imagined. Oh well, monster romance is trending. For Krampus, Tylor is his last chance at breaking a century-old curse. Can their love thaw his frozen heart, or is he destined to remain the eternal Yuletide demon? This sounds like a twist on Beauty and the Beast. So, Kidnapped by the Krampus. The color that I drew was this Citron number 120524. It's pretty close in some of the lighting here, like in the candlestick, in the shades on several of the candlesticks. So I am saying that that is on there and that counts. So there we go. All right, roll number 3. Seven, so 4 and a 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Memorial Day. This is to read a book that has something to do with military or the war. Could be a historical fiction set during a war, or maybe someone is in an army reserve, or maybe it's a fantasy that has like one Viking tribe versus an ancient evil. There's a war, battle between good and evil. So something with war or military. And it needs to have, let's go with this one, this green, grass green on the cover. So roll number 3, military or war. So for this one, I am going to go with one of the books that is on my Horror Mayhem TBR. I'm going with Last Days by Adam Nevill. When guerrilla documentary maker Kyle Freeman is asked to shoot a film on the notorious cult known as the Temple of the Last Days, it appears his prayers have been answered. The cult became a worldwide phenomenon in 1975, when there was a massacre including the death of its infamous leader, Sister Catherine. Kyle's brief is to explore the paranormal myths surrounding an organization that became a testament to paranoia, murderous rage, and occult rituals. The shoot's locations take him from the cult's first temple in London, an abandoned farm in France, and a derelict copper mine in the Arizonian desert where the Temple of Last Days met its bloody end. But when he interviews those involved in the case, those who haven't broken silence in decades, a series of uncanny events plague the shoots. Troubling out-of-body experiences, nocturnal visitations, the sudden demise of their interviewees, and the discovery of ghastly artifacts make Kyle question what exactly it is the cult has awoken, as well as what its interest in him. So, I'm saying this doesn't sound like it has military, but war, good versus evil. This guy's trying to survive and beat whatever. Is there someone that's waging war on him to keep things hush-hush, or is there something supernatural that's waged war on him in some way? So that's how I'm making that count. As far as the color, grass green, number 156437. There was a lot of green, specifically in that leaf right there, but yeah, there's a lot of green on here, but specifically that leaf right there in the middle. Okay, going for official prompt number 4. Okay. Moving 4 spots, but as you can see, it's another double. So, I'm trying to get 7 prompts from my board. And so moving 4 spots. So we have 1, 2, and then have to go up to the top here. 3, 4. This is Roar. And Roar is to read a book that has some sort of predatory animal on the cover. So as long as it could be a cat, could be a predatory animal because cats can eat birds and mice, that type of a thing. It could be, maybe I go with a dragon, you know, basically not bottom of the food chain. As long as there's something on the food chain lower than the animal, it can be a predatory animal, and that's what I can go with. So, and then let's go with this top one. So this gray, warm gray 2. I need to try to get this. So Roar, this is to read a book that has a predatory animal on the cover. I decided to go with Slash or Pass. This is also from my horror MAYhem TBR. This was written by Tylor, Paige. There is a snake, and since snake eat mice and other things, predatory animal. So that is what I'm going to go with. When you get told to run, you get up and don't look back. We had one shot to get out of the sinister minister's grasp, and we took it. Hand in hand, Kansas and I fled in the middle of the night with the promise that we'd never tell a soul about what happened at that house and how Constantine died. Elsie has spent the last decade looking over her shoulder while trying to forget the horrors the minister and the family inflicted upon her and others. However, something continues to call to her. In the deepest roots of her psyche, she can't escape the nightmares of her time trapped in the cult. All of her fears come to a head when she finds a letter taped to her door, informing her that a documentary is being made about the minister and the events that took place 10 years ago. When she politely declines, she can't help but wonder why they didn't invite her more to talk. It isn't until she turns on the TV that she sees that they didn't need her to talk because they had someone else to captivate their audience. They found Constantine. He's alive. He remembers that we left him. Okay. The color that I drew is warm gray number 2. In the shading of the flowers here, because they're kind of, I don't know, but it is in there. There's also the, what is that, a hammer or an axe? I can't tell what tool that is. Oh, that's a knife. So yeah, there's the shade, definitely appears on here a couple of times. So excellent. I don't need to split that up. Okay, let's get my TBR cards back out. Maybe I won't put them back in the container. Do just a little shuffle. Okay. Choose a book with a number in the title. And then we need a color to go with it. Okay. This is a pale blue, kind of like a baby blue, number 277. All right, so a double. So this is my second punishment, and the TBR card was choose a book with a number in the title. For this one, I am going with 12 Days of Book Clubmas. This was the Once Upon a Book Club in 2023, their December special edition. I have not read this. I have opened all the gifts, but I have not read this yet. So 12 Days of Book Clubmas. The number's in the title, 12 days. I can't tell you anything about this other than this is a volume 6 and is a collection of short stories. I don't know if they're all Christmas themed or not, but it's a collection of short stories, all by different authors. The color that I drew is number 277. It's in the mountains here. So there we go. Okay, prompt number 5, but is not the last roll because of the 2 that I had to add on for the doubles. Okay, 7, a 4, and a 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. Moving back up to the top here. 4, 5, 6, 7. April Showers. April Showers is to read a book that has water on the cover. I don't care if it's one single raindrop, a swimming pool, a glass of water, but just has to have water on the cover. And let's go with this. This is kind of a very pale pastel green, number 9041. Okay, April Showers, water on the cover. I'm going to go with Still Beating. I've been wanting to get to this one. This is by Jennifer Hartman. And I think it's a romance. Not quite positive, but I'm pretty sure. He puts his hand against my chest. It's still beating, he whispers. His words, a soft kiss on my lips. As long as it's beating, you're okay. When Cora Lawson attends her sister's birthday party, she expects at most a hangover or a walk of shame by the end of it. She doesn't anticipate a stolen wallet, leaving her stranded and dependent on her sister's fiancé, Dean Asher, her arch nemesis and perpetual thorn in her side. And she really doesn't anticipate getting knocked out and waking up chained in a madman's basement, Dean in his own shackles beside her. After 15 years of teasing, insults, and never-ending pranks, the ultimate joke seems to be on them. The two people who always thought they'd end up killing each other must now work together if they want to survive long enough to escape. But Cora and Dean don't know that their abductor has a plan for them, a plan that will alter the course of their relationship, blur the line between hate and love, and shackle them to each other long after they are freed from their chains. They are in this together, no matter what their unexpected bond might cost them. The color that I drew is this 9041. As you can see, I mean, maybe in the lettering? No. I mean, it looks it kind of on camera, but in person, no. So this color is not on the cover. So this is the first one I've had to split. And to go with this color, I am going with Rook. So in the shades here, specifically right here in the middle, is what I'm going with. So this is written by William Ritter. Abigail Rook never intended to be the mortal bridge between the human and supernatural worlds. But now the power of the sight and all the discord that comes with seeing the truth behind everything and everyone, both mundane and magical, is hers, and hers alone. With this overwhelming new gift, she should be able to settle disputes, solve crimes, and help the late 19th century city of New Fiddleham, New England, find calm in its supernatural chaos. The only problem? She has no idea what she's doing. And New Fiddleham isn't waiting for Abigail to be ready. Local witches and other magical beings are going missing, as tensions between human and supernatural residents curdle into a hatred that could tear the city apart. Abigail's fiancé, Charlie, works alongside her to unravel the magical disappearances. But as a shape-shifter, he's under threat as well. Then Abigail's parents appear, ready to take her back to England and marry her off to someone she's never met. As Abigail learns to master her gift, she must follow her sight, her instincts, and any clues she can find to track a culprit who could destroy everything she holds dear. So, there we go. Okay, roll number 6. Oh man, I was thinking that was another double, so I got 9. Okay, so 1. I'm going up to the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we gotta go all the way over here. 7, 8, 9. Oh, this one's a hard one. Okay, so that is TikTok. Oh, never mind. This is not as difficult as I thought it was. I was thinking a source of time on the cover, but this is just to continue a series because time is always moving forward. So I've got to continue a series. And the color to go with this, let's go with this one. Morning Mist. TikTok, continue a series. I've been wanting to pick this series up again, and it's generally a quick read. Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca, Ritchie. This is book number 3 in the Addicted series. I don't really want to read what the synopsis is about. So, this follows a couple. He is addicted to alcohol. She has a sex addiction. And you're following and seeing a lot of the stigma that is associated with both, especially with the sex addiction. And it's a romance. It is sexually explicit. And she's in recovery. Or the last book, I will say, recovery is talked about. And what to do. Should they go into therapy, go into like a house and be isolated from people and things like that. So, and how is their relationship going to be when they kind of enabled each other. So that's what this is about, Addicted for now. The color that I drew was Morning Mist, number 125204. I have white, clear, and red, and then a darker green. So this color is not on here, but I really want to continue this. So the color, I'm going with a book from my Horror Mayhem TBR, and that is The Disappearance by Bentley Little, and I'm saying the color is right in here. So this is what I'm going to use for the color for this prompt. Gary, his girlfriend Joan, and their friends intend to make the most of their 3-day vacation from UCLA by partying at Burning Man. But soon after they arrive at the festival in the remote desert, Joan disappears. Calls to her parents' home yield only dead air. Her school records are gone, and there's no evidence that Joan, or even her roommate, ever existed. Most disturbing of all is what they do find. Among Joan's belongings is a prayer written on a small scroll. It's a safeguard and a warning from something called the Outsiders. For Gary and his friends, it's the only clue. Now, if they want to find out exactly what happened to Joan, they must follow it. But they may not like what they uncover. Okay, and rule number 7 from my board. Let's hope it's the last. Oh, good. A 5 and a 4. So, yes, this is the last roll. So that's 9 spots again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is to read a book that has a woman on the cover. Plain and simple. So I don't care if it's a real person or an animated, or maybe like, you know, like when you go to a restaurant or some other facility and they have the, they're not really stick figures, but the images to depict man or woman, something like that I would even count, because it's got a dress. So a woman on the cover, or someone that appears to be a woman on the cover. For all I know, maybe the person is a drag queen on the cover. I wouldn't mind that. So yeah. Who knows? All right, we're going to go with this color. It's a green, kind of a pastelish green, number 7493. And this last prompt, number 7, is Mother's Day. This is to read a book with a woman on the cover, and I'm going with a drawn figure of a woman, but it is still a woman. A Sisterhood of Secret Ambitions by Sheena Boekweg. This, I really needed to get on this TBR because this is the May selection for the Autism Reads, which is a read-along that I host. Sheena is actually local to me in my neighborhood, and I have talked to her many a times in person. Very sweet person. I remember her mentioning autism, and so I did confirm with her that yes, she is autistic, and she said she is okay with me mentioning that. So we are going to be reading A Sisterhood of Secret Ambitions. And the synopsis reads, behind every powerful man is a trained woman, and behind every trained woman is the society. It started with tea parties and matchmaking, but is now a countrywide secret. Gossips pass messages in recipes, spinsters train to fight, and women work together to grant safety to abused women and children. The society is more than oaths. It is sisterhood and purpose. In 1927, 17-year-old Elsie is dropped off in a new city with 3 other teenage girls, who have each trained since childhood to become the wife of a powerful man. But when they learn that their next target is earmarked to become president, their mission becomes more than just an assignment. This is a chance at the most powerful position in the society. But as these ambitious girls compete for the heart of a boy who has been given everything, Elsie starts to wonder what would happen if the name on that future ballot was hers. So, the color that I drew for this prompt is number 7493, which is this green. There are some greens in here. No. It's more like different shades of brown, but this is not on the cover. So I'm going with Declaration of War, book number 1, and the Hunted Tribe by Roma Gray. This one, there's shades in this raptor. It's hard to see with the lighting, but like more you can see it right there. The shades on the raptor's skin, like the scales. So I am saying this color is on there. It's as close as it's getting. And I think it's a pretty close match. So this is what we're going with. Now there's a tribe in this. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's D-W-A-N-A-K-E. Let me look that. I am not finding a pronunciation for it. So anyway, deep in the North American forests lurks an animal spirit known as the Grishla. The Grishla is so ancient it predates the human race by several million years, and it is so powerful and reclusive only very insightful witches know of its existence. 500 years ago, this tribe possessed such witches drunk on their own power and arrogance. These witches attempted to enslave the Grishla, enraged the creature, and the creature began hunting and killing members of this tribe. I don't know how to say it. Desperate, the tribal leaders ordered experiments on the children to create the ultimate witch to defend their people. 16-year-old Sean Wolf is that witch, but Sean is so powerful that he cannot control his own magic. Will he be able to defeat the Grishla, or will he destroy himself and everyone that he loves? So that's what I'm going with. Those are all of the books that will be on my May Cat-Walk TBR game. I don't expect to get to all of those. I did not get the magazine, Gallows Hill, these two books, The Exorcist, House of Leaves, plus all of these ones. These are all books on my Horror Mayhem TBR. The TBR for that Horror Mayhem will be in the description box, so you can check it out if you would like. There is an issue with it. It's an issue on my end. It does freeze at one point, but the ebooks will continue to pop up, like the cover images. But like my face freezes at one point in it, and I know that's there, and I've tried to fix it and I can't, but I still wanted to get the TBR up. So, but yeah, those are the books that I hope to prioritize. Again, I am going to try to read as much of the horror ones as I can, and then hopefully sprinkle in those other ones. The only one that's the biggest priority out of all the other books on the Cat-Walk TBR that's not horror is A Sisterhood of Secret Ambitions, because again, this is the May selection for Autism Reads. Link in the description box if you want to join the Discord and read along with us. So that's it. Have you read any of these books? Have you read from any of these authors? Let me know. If you were to play this game and get any of these prompts, what would be a book that you pick? And I would say don't worry about the color unless you really want to. But yeah, let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.